Welcome everyone to our LifeWave and X39 introductory call. Special warm welcome to those of you that are brand new. It's a great call to get introduced to a very special company and an amazing historic breakthrough technology. So this evening, we're going to do a little history of the company, a little bit about our founder, and then we bring on our special guest, Dr. Walter Young, and he's going to talk about our technology, answer a few important questions to help you understand what we have here, and then we turn things over to you. And so I welcome everyone to go to the chat. If you have a story to share, because we're going to turn things over to you at the end of the call, please raise your hand if you have a story and let me know in the chat that you have a story, just to be really clear. If you have a question, please put that in the chat. And remember, we only talk symptoms, no naming of anything, but just symptoms only. And then we stay on safe territory. We're not here to diagnose or prescribe or cure. We are a natural products company and we talk about symptoms and we love to hear your stories. So now we get to jump in. LifeWave. Well, let me just start out with my story. Back in oh my goodness, October of 2018, I was researching stem cell injections for a bone-on-bone situation with my left knee, and I got that call that changed my life. And that came from our dear friend Kai Jacobson, and he said, there's a new technology that activates your own stem cells with light. And he's a trusted friend. I said, how fast can I get it? And that was it. And I started as a customer back in November of 2018, before it was available for the public. And I put the patch, which looks like this. It looks like a little round Band-Aid the size of a quarter, put it back there. And a week later, the pain in my knee was gone. I was willing to pay $12,500 out of pocket for an injection with no guarantee. And so I was pretty darn excited. I started as a customer and I'm just someone who could not share. And by the end of February, I started taking this seriously as a business. And now I'm grateful to say every day I wake up and hear miracle stories, and tens of thousands of people all over the world have had life-changing experiences because of this amazing technology. So what is it and who is this company? So LifeWave is 16 years old. It got started in 2004, but prior to that, our founder and inventor, David Schmidt, had actually created this technology on a contract for the Navy SEALs as part of their survival equipment to help them stay awake in mini subs without chemicals or substances. And then 9/11 happened and the government had different priorities. So David was talking to someone who really said that the best vehicle to get something like this out to the market is through network marketing. So LifeWave is actually a health sciences research and development company that really strategically chose network marketing because it's the best vehicle to share a cutting edge technology that truly is historic. So the first patch was called the Energy Enhancer, and it actually burns 500 calories of body fat and turns it into pure, clean energy. It's very exciting. Well, it got discovered by athletes, and the company had a dramatic shift when one day David Schmidt got a call from the women's Olympic swim coach, Richard Quick, and said, 6 of my 8 swimmers did their personal best. And everything kind of took off from there, because when athletes can, enhance their performance safely, naturally, and affordably, they're in, and nothing is going in the body. They're totally non-transdermal. It's an amazing technology using light that we're going to get into a little bit. So the first phase of the company was symptom relief patches. So Energy Enhancer, and then came the pain relief patch called IceWave, because the X39, the Energy Enhancer, they discovered actually had some pain relief benefits to it. It's a 2-patch system, and so was our IceWave pain relief patch. And we can actually say the word pain because we have double-blind studies from independent labs that prove pain relief. Most natural companies don't have that because most natural companies don't do the research. LifeWave invests millions and millions of dollars into research to validate the efficacy of what we have. And then the Silent Night patch came out that actually helps the body build and create its own melatonin. So we have a wonderful sleep patch. So phase 1 is more symptom-based. Then we move into phase 2, which is the anti-aging phase. And the Eon, carnosine, and glutathione patch were born. We're not going to go into all the patches this evening. We're here to talk about the star of the show, which is the 3rd generation, which is regeneration. And David is all about that right now. He's actually, he's totally committed to having LifeWave be the top let's see, what is it? The leader in health technologies. That's it. So what we have is a health technology, and there's more coming. He's done something that no one else has been able to do. Even the multi-billion-dollar companies have tried to access this thing. It's called the copper peptide GHK-Cu that actually is called the holy grail of health, healing, and regeneration. And he's been able to activate it. So he's become known all over the world for doing that. We actually are all over the world. We are serving over 75 countries. We have 14 distribution centers. I think that's up to date. And I'm not sure. We just opened up Malaysia March 1st, which is very exciting. So we're constantly expanding. And David is constantly in the laboratory. Currently, we have over 100 clinical studies. Many of those can be found on our website, lifewave.com. And if you scroll down just a little bit next to the video on the right, you'll see them. David himself is quite a special man. I mean, ever since he was a child, he was always curious on how things work. And he was always taking things apart and trying to put them down, mostly put them back together. His mother wasn't really thrilled when he didn't put the stove back together, but he just loved figuring everything out. And he just is an amazing, amazing inventor with over 100 patents and patent pendings to his name. And he's constantly working on more things. But something amazing happened when he activated this copper peptide and, opened up the 3rd phase of the company, the regenerative phase, which actually doesn't just stop the aging process, it turns it back. And we do have clinical scientific proof that shows we are turning back the aging process. Well, many of us baby boomers are really excited about that because we want to live a long, healthy, and productive, wonderful life, enjoying the best that life has to offer. So not only did the pain in my knee go away, but all kinds of other things happened. The quality of my hair and my skin changed. My reaction time changed. The aches and pains that I had that were pretty debilitating were just gone. So simply, so easily, naturally, and affordably. So X39, the star of the show currently, David considers it one of his greatest accomplishments. He's got lots more that he's going to be introducing to us. So that is a little bit about our company. I think now I want to introduce our special guest this evening. And this is a man I've grown to really, really enjoy working with, Dr. Walt Young, and he is an acupuncture physician, which is quite a fascinating combination of things because he comes from kind of an allopathic background. He got his BS in nursing, he did his pre-med work, and then he went on to study Chinese medicine. He went to China to do that. And he's an acupuncture physician. He works out of a medical center in Boulder, Colorado, has his own practice in that area also. And I just have so enjoyed getting to know him, learn from him, and work with him. So I want to bring on Dr. Walt. Turn your camera on, please, so we can see you. Where are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm hitting start video, but it's not going. Hold on.
Hold on. Gregory? Gregory's our tech support guy.
Dr. Walt's a co-host, so he should be able to.
There it is.
Okay.
Hey, can you see me now?
No? Oh, there we are. Yes.
Yeah. I'm up in Taos, so I'm on something new here. So, yeah, I'm here.
I saw that view when I want that other chair with you. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's fabulous. So, you know, a lot of people, have an understanding of acupuncture a little bit. So as an acupuncture physician, LifeWave patches operate on the energy system. David actually talks about that a lot. He loves acupuncture. So what is it that got you personally excited about getting involved with LifeWave and sharing this with some of your clients and patients, Dr. Walt?
So I want you to indulge me for a little bit.
I love to indulge you for a little bit.
Because this will also go along with the biophotomodulation.
We'll get to that
when I found,
go for it.
Yeah, when I found out about the X39, which was from Dr. Liu, she's a medical doctor, I got really excited because there's something that a lot of people don't know about. There's some corpuscles in the body. They're called Blanc corpuscles, and I'll spell it for you. B as in boy, O-N as in Nancy, G as in George, then H as in happy, A as in apple, and N as in Nancy. It's one word. Blanc. Of course, it's from a physician that discovered these corpuscles, and they lie pretty much on the areas of the organs in the brain, also right along pathways of the meridians. So when you stimulate these areas, now this is something that we've known for years, but then as more research came out about meridians, certain things were discovered because we put more energy into trying to understand why sticking a needle in these areas that the Chinese have been talking about worked distally in the brain, or if you stuck a point in the hand, it worked on the back, those kind of things. So these corpuscles also can be stimulated with light, pressure. You can inject saline into it if you're licensed to do that. So that really got me excited because that worked with the biophoton modulation. So these corpuscles have been discovered, and this also explains why when we put a patch on, it affects other parts of your body also, because it's almost like a new circulatory lymphatic system. So that's what got me excited.
I love it. I love it. And because of your background, and I think it would be really helpful for everyone to understand, when the patch gets close to the body, it affects the whole body, doesn't it?
Yes, it starts to work on the whole body because of the infrared or the heat given off by our body. Okay. Stimulates the crystals.
Great. So let's kind of talk about, before we get into the photobiomodulation, let's talk a little bit about stem cells, because one of the things, the future of medicine is in stem cells. One of the many things that the patch does is activate stem cells. Some people have heard of stem cells. It's in the news. It's all over the place, but not everybody knows what they are and how important they are as we age. Could you briefly share that with people so they better understand?
Sure, and a brief explanation. These are cells that can become any other cell in the body where an organ is injured or a tissue is injured. So they become that organ and start to repair the organ. That's a very simplistic way of explaining it. And they're needed. They're needed for our health. And as we age, they decrease. So definitely you want to have your patch on.
Okay. So as we age, we have less, right? When we're
right.
babies, we have a lot. And for those people that have children, you see how fast they heal. And some of us, as we're aging, we don't heal quite so quickly, do we?
No, we don't.
So we want more of those. Okay. So stem cells help us repair and regenerate the damage. So now let's take a look at this science that we keep talking about, this big word. And I'd love you to break it down for people so people understand what does it mean? The technology that's used in this patch, which is a technology and it is a science that is proven by thousands of research studies, is called photobiomodulation. Please explain, Dr. Walt.
So it's just a matter of light. When light hits our skin, certain messages will start to happen. An example that I like to use a lot is, most people have heard of, when children are born with yellow jaundice, we usually put them under a blue billy light, it's called. And so that blue light will conjugate or bind the bilirubin in the baby, because too much bilirubin can be harmful to the brain and other areas, and the baby gets rid of it. So the photobio, the photo is the light or the energy we give off. The bio is just biology, it's life. Just like the sun is life, so is our energy that's coming off of our body, giving a message to these patches to do a certain activation in our body. And like I said, if you have it over one of those Bohan corpuscles, it's going to really activate, and it's going to go throughout your whole body. So those stem cells will hear about it, not only close to, but even distally or far away, because it helps activate something called GHK copper. It's a peptide. And I like to think of it as almost like a food that awakens your stem cells. If you have less, it's going to start to awaken, so we produce more, so we can start with the anti-aging, so to speak, protocol. Included in that anti-aging is, of course, returning to homeostasis or balancing. For instance, with any of my clients that are post-op after having surgery, I really want them to start using the patch even close to the area where they've been, their incision is.
I love what you just said. The copper peptide is like the food that awakens the stem cells. Can I use that?
Right. Yeah, of course.
I quote you regularly, by the way. So I'm going to add that to the list. So now, the company has many different patches, but what's changed the history of the company, actually from 2018 to 2019, it tripled in size, and 2.5 times from 2019 to 2020. And it's on track to do that again this year. And it's because of this one little thing that changed everything. Why is this patch so special, and why did it change the company, Dr. Walt?
Well, because it's a very cost-effective technology. No side effects. I don't have to worry about side effects, and it's really jumped us into a whole other realm. And I can't wait to see what David is coming up with next. If he can surpass stem cells, I mean, I'm happy as hell with this, just the stem cells,
And that's only part of what the copper peptide does. David said recently, it activates, over 4,000 of our genes to a younger, more youthful you, which is only a third. And so he's going for 100%, I heard.
Yeah, and I think word is out that it also, there's some word that the telomeres that are on the top of our DNA, those are being activated, and they're restoring it and even growing it, even if it's a small percentage. I think I've heard like 8%. I'll take 8% if all I have is 1%.
So we're going to be hearing more about that later, because we have many more studies in process that we're going to be hearing some really life-changing results for people that are truly historic, in addition to what we already have. So for people to effectively use this technology, could you give some direction and some guidance, please?
Sure. I think for me, I tell my clients to start off with, those 2 areas on the body. Make sure you're well hydrated. And if you're not taking your magnesium, I would take some extra magnesium. Right now, copper is very important. And the magnesium can be, 400 to 600 milligrams. The zinc is also important. On the copper, I would say, don't go overboard. Remember, we live in America where a little bit is good and more is better. Copper should only be about 2.5 milligrams. But if you're doing those things and you're very committed and consistent with wearing the patch, you will see results. You may not see the result that you want initially. That just means that these stem cells are working somewhere else that needs to happen.
Great. I think that's really important for people to know, that stem cells have this innate wisdom to go where they're most needed. Yeah, that's exciting. Right. So you want to be well hydrated. You want to have your minerals. You said not too much copper. How much is the right amount for most people?
About 2.5 milligrams. I wouldn't go over that. Okay. And normally you're probably okay on your copper if you eat some nuts and there's some meats, like liver is good. I don't eat liver, so I take my 2.5 milligrams. I don't usually take it every day. I may take it every other day or every third day, because I pretty much like a lot of different nuts, like cashews has it. I love cashews.
Cashews. Aren't Brazil nuts good for
Brazil nuts. I don't like Brazil nuts, but yes, Brazil nuts.
David recommends just four Brazil nuts before bed. That's what he recommends. Okay.
That's good.
And how long do you wear this technology? It's wearable technology. How long do you wear it?
Well, 12 hours and 12 hours off. There's something in medicine called attenuation, and it's just like you and I, all of us on the call, we need to sleep at night. I would give your body a little bit of a rest so it's not constantly going and activating, because when you use up all of the copper, peptide is looking to create more. So I would just do the 12 hours, because the results speak for themselves. Even with all my clients, they're getting results with the 12 hours.
Beautiful, beautiful. Anything else you want to share about the effectiveness, or who should wear it, who shouldn't wear it?
Well, the effectiveness on organ donation, you should not wear it for organ donation. Okay. I don't recommend it, immediately after chemotherapy. I would wait about a week and then start it. So that's really the only two that I would really consider.
Okay, so anything that's immune suppressing, we want to stay away from this, because it does enhance the immune system, right? So we don't want to counteract things. Okay, good. And before we open things up for our participants, as an acupuncture physician and understanding energy flow, how important is energy flow in people's healing?
Great question. If you are stressed out, you're not eating well, a lot of other things are happening if you have disease processes. Your energy, your meridian, whatever you want to call it, chi or ki, as the Japanese call it, needs to be flowing. All of these meridians have to be flowing almost like an unimpeded river. So the minute these are constricted, things are not going to happen as quick as possible. And as you know, and I think some of the people in the company, my second favorite is the energy enhancer. Because if people are saying they're not getting really great results, I say slap on the energy enhancer on the bottom of your feet to open up the meridian so you get this flow.
So energy flow, because I know Dr. Nicholas says that too. There's 3 main patches if anyone has a disease. And then if you can add the energy enhancer, it accelerates, because we need energy to heal.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think we have some questions. I don't see anyone's hands up. If you have a testimonial, please put your hand up and let me know. But we do have some questions, and let me see here. Okay, Dr. Walt. Let's see. Here we go. Can you provide a recipe for legs that wake you up at night with a burning sensation? And I have to shake them. It's been going on, like I said before, a very long time. Yeah.
Right. So one thing I want everybody to know, by Chinese standards, if you've had anything over 3 or 4 months, then it starts to become chronic. So that's just a little bit of a gauge for y'all. I would do your X39, of course, that's always the top one. And then I would start with the energy enhancer and see what happens. And you can move that around, but I would start with the bottom of your feet, like the little brochure shows, which is kidney 1. And I would start to go from there. I'm not a big person about adding 4 patches. We got to go step by step to see what's happening and see what happens within a week with the energy enhancer. If anything isn't happening, then we may go to Eon. So I would start with that.
Okay, that's very helpful. And I like what you just said. We don't pile on a bunch of patches. We recommend most people start with just X39 for 60 to 90 days. Why do you recommend that?
because we're going to know the full extent of what these little stem cells can do for you.
I love it. I love it. You know, what I've seen over time is it's so comprehensive. It may be all that people need. And it also
That's right.
helps everything else become more effective. So here's Mary Beth said she was bit by a tick and got several diseases. Now she has joint pain and all kinds of other lung issues and immune issues and histamine problem. So what would you recommend for Mary Beth?
I would start again with the X39. I would then secondarily start with the energy enhancer. You can do it on the feet first. And then there's 2 points up here, okay, that are the lung points. And if she's having lung issues, another day she may put them up at the lung points, okay? Then if you, I don't know how long she's been patching, but I would go ahead and add on the Eon to see what's happening. Make sure you're drinking fluids. Coffee doesn't count. Soup doesn't count. I'm talking about pure, good water. Great.
Yeah. That electrical system needs hydration to work properly. And you said something really well. Go ahead.
No, I said we're like an alkaline battery. So yeah, we do need water, and we need electrolytes in our system, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how many different patches? Nadine's asking, how many different patches can you wear at once?
Well, in theory, you should be able to wear all of them, except for, I think, the ice wave, because that's just for pure pain. So I wouldn't put that on. But I don't see any reason that you have to wear all of them at the same time. I mean, you really got to work on one at a time. You know, when I was in China, the thing is that they even said to us, we here in America, we're going to bombard our system with 2, 3, 4 things. In Chinese medicine, we start with one thing, see if it works for 2 weeks. And then if it's not working, if we've not made the right syndrome diagnosis, then we go to a different herbal formula maybe. And think of these as formulas. You know, the X39 is a master formula because it's doing something with our stem cells. Those are primo in our body. We need those stem cells. And let them have their chance, because remember, they're working against anything that you haven't been doing for years. Is your diet clean? Is it good? Please remember, we live in a post-industrial society. Our little immune systems have never been bombarded as much as we're being bombarded now. So these little stem cells have got to work against a whole lot. And I think, Robin, you know, as well as myself and other people, there have been people that have called that have had many illnesses. And I've just changed a couple of things, and within a day or two, they're getting results. So it's really important not to bombard your system. You're giving your system a message with the stem cell, with the activation of this copper peptide. Give it a chance to run around your body and start doing its thing. And once I've told some of my patients, let's say 2 months into this, they're like, okay, I felt everything. I'm feeling great. What else can I add? You know, and as you know, for me, pain and sleepless nights are important, because if you have those two, and you're not getting rid of those two, you're not healing. So then we go from there to try to add on something if they want. And most of the time, 85% of my clients are female. You know, that's why men die younger. We don't really take care of ourselves, but this is a wonderful way of taking care of ourselves now. So they, you know, I may have them take the Nirvana or the Alavita, and, you know, they'll see an additional jump in their texture of their skin, which is wonderful for them.
You said some really, really important things that David talks about all the time. He doesn't just talk about using the patches and that they're going to handle everything. We have to do our part, you know, and
yes,
you know, we live in a very toxic world. There's just so many things we're bombarded with all the time. So, you know, the quality of food we eat, the quality of air, the quality of water, all those things are important. And we've got to, you know, take care of this vessel too. And the patches will help, but we've got to do our part too.
Yeah, you've got to protect those little guys. You've got to make sure that initially when you have somebody starting, like today I started this lady that's she's a post-op hip replacement. She has got to do her part also. You know, you've got to help these little guys move around and help what you want.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I know that my surgeon was amazed at the speed of my recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my first knee replacement was very, very challenging. The second one, you know, I was off my meds and off my walker and cane in 3 weeks, and he was amazed, and so was I.
And you know one of my clients. She's the young lady that had the knee replacement. We spoke correctly. Well, she ran out of her X39, and she panicked. She was away, and she said, "I also feel a lot different right now." She said her joints are achy now. She doesn't have as much mental clarity. She doesn't have as much energy, and so she reordered. And she's like, it's almost like being an addict. She wants her X39, you know, right away.
Never leave home without them. I mean, I have
never.
Okay, we have a few hands up. That means they're testimonials, and we want to make them brief because we're kind of. Are you okay to stay a few extra minutes?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So we have Nadine first, and you should be allowed to talk. So remember, symptoms only, Nadine, and please keep it brief. And you got to unmute your line.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
I've been having some tingling in my toes. I've been using the X39 when I would begin to feel my muscle tighten up because I've had very bad muscle cramps in my legs for a long time. So should I continue using the X39 or throw some Eon on there?
I would continue using the X39. Have you tried the energy enhancer on the bottom of your feet?
No, I have not, but I was listening to you and I'm going to try that tonight.
Yeah, I would try that also. The 3 with the Eon would match very well, but I would get the energy enhancer to open up all of those energy meridians.
Great.
All right, thank you so very much.
Okay.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so Lovell, you need to unmute. Let's see here. Lovell, if you unmute your line, you can talk. Or is it Smige? I'm not sure. Okay, there you go. Can we hear you?
No, can you hear me?
Yes, and make
it. Yes, I can hear you.
You have an amazing story. Make it really brief, okay, hon?
Okay, you got it. Thank you so very much for the opportunity. I had surgery just a couple of days ago, and it was 3 to about 6 hours, and I was, and that's some of 2 hours of that is about the recovery. But I went in there with all my patches on, Doc. So I was patched up from head to toe, and they looked at me and they said, "What is all of this?" And so I gladly told them what it was. And it's amazing to me that most doctors and nurses don't know what glutathione is. So that's pretty amazing to me. And so I told them they could not take off not one of them. And so they looked at my stomach and they said, "Well, we need to take this." I said, "Nope, you're inside. You're not on the outside. When I wake up, I want to have all my patches on." And so when I came out of the surgery in recovery, and I'm dazed. I can't speak. I can't move. I can't do anything, but I could hear. And I could hear my RN just telling everybody, all the nurses, about the patches. And I'm trying to talk and tell them, "No, you're not telling it right. You're not telling it right." And I couldn't. And it was just blowing me away. So when I came to, I was able to talk to her. And she just laughed. And it was just the funniest thing. And so I just want to say I was without any pain whatsoever from the surgery, the day after the surgery, or the next day. So it was phenomenal. Thank you. Was that short enough?
No,
that's fair. That's really nice because having worked in the hospital, especially in recovery, also in interventional radiology, when nurses or doctors see a patch on you, they think it's probably like a fentanyl patch, although those are pretty clear, but they don't know. And unfortunately, Many of my people in allopathic medicine do not know what you all know on this call today. So the only way things are going to reach other people, especially in the medical profession, is when clients or patients talk about it to them. It's unfortunate that they didn't know about glutathione, but I run into that all the time. Good for you, Lovell.
Yes, and so one of the things, I have some people that are in the hospital right now and they want to be wearing their patches. And like you said, Dr. Walt, if they don't know what it is, it's no. So I have a way around that. If they see this, if they see this thing, I say this is a good luck Band-Aid, and I'm very superstitious. And then they just let me.
That's one way.
It works. It works. As I actually went to an ICU because we know nothing's going in the body, so it is safe. But they don't know that, and they're being protective. They're doing their job, you know. So let's do a quick.
That's true.
Someone said they had a friend with a knee replaced and it hit a nerve with the epidural. Is there anything that can help with this kind of nerve pain? Is a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, nerve pain is a tough one, especially if they actually hit the nerve. That's a big yowie. But I would, once again, to restore all of that, I would start with the X39. And I would put it very close to the area where they punctured. And you can also do the Eon to reduce the inflammation. And it will not hurt to get that energy moving, because when you're in pain, you're going to constrict things. It's like almost a headache, and you've got to open that up so there's more blood and chi moving. So I would start with those three. If the pain is just too severe, use your ice wave.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Let's see. Let's do one or two more. We got a whole bunch of them. My friend just got her X39 Thursday, and her blood pressure seems to be going up. Is there a reason you would explain that, and what should she do?
There's a possibility that when these stem cells start to go in and repair, you're going to go through kind of like what's called a Herxheimer's reaction or a detox. The common word is a detox. And anytime you go through sometimes a detox, your blood pressure may go up. What she can also do is take it off one day, put it on 2 days later, off and on, instead of doing it every day, and see what happens. But that's a possibility. She should drink more fluids. I don't know how old she is, if she has any other kind of issue with her heart, but I would start with the X39. Don't do it every day and see what that does.
Okay, thank you. That's great, because people think it's not working, and we know it is. And if it doesn't
it is.
seem like it's working, the body will never hurt itself. And I think that's really important for everyone to know. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to take one more. Teresa wants to share a story. So we love stories, and Teresa, I think you're ready to talk.
Yes. Talking about a hospital visit. My partner was in the hospital for a surgical procedure, went in with patches. They wanted to know what they were, told him what they were. They left them on him. And even at discharge, it was on the recommendations to continue using your patches. He then had another hospital visit about a month later, and again, wearing patches, and was recommended to continue using them upon discharge. So I'm very, very pleased. So I just told them what I knew about them, and gave them, told them to research at GHK-CU, and that's the patches work with everything concerned with that. And they even recommended the continued use of them. I'm trying to get a prescription, but having a hard time with that. Any suggestions, doctor?
Yeah, well, that's a big move, and that's great. I just continue, and if you gave them a brochure or whatever you did, go for it while the poker is hot, I guess to say, because you're educating people, and all of us have to educate people. We're at a point in our society, what's going on. We have answers to many, many things. And this isn't science fiction. It's going to get bigger and it's going to get better. They're going to be sorry that they're not on the forefront of it. So it's up to us to educate everybody. That's how it has happened with my type of medicine. You know, so many people were going to acupuncturists for years when they said, I remember my ER director did not want me to leave the ER. He said, you're going to be studying voodoo medicine. And I said, well, I'm going to do it. And I did it.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Walt. There's a lot more questions that we're not able to get to. If people want to do a telemedicine phone consult with you, can they do that?
Yes, they can. And I'd like to ask Nadine if she'd let us know if that protocol that I gave her, you know, helps her. You know, it may not be in a day or two, but let's see if that'll help you, Nadine.
Great, great. So if people do want to reach you to have a private consult, how do they do that, Dr. Walt?
Do you have my email or my phone number? You can give them that.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. So you know what I think I'm going to do is post that in our Facebook group so people have access to, you know, all of you guys for private consults, and just know our doctors volunteer their time to do this call. They do charge for their consults. It's well worth it. They know the patches real well. And Dr. Walt, you know, understanding the energy system in the body is a wonderful contribution. And for those of you that didn't hear, he said it many times. Energy enhancer on kidney 1 on the bottom of your feet. And you can look it up and it can help everything work better, right?
Right, absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dr. Wald, for being with us and sharing your wisdom this evening. Thank you, everyone who showed up tonight. Our calls are getting bigger and bigger, and it's wonderful having you here. We have a rotation of doctors. If you're a guest on the call, please get back to the person who invited you. We have a wonderful customer program, and we also have a very generous program. If you're the kind of person like me that likes to share, I started as a customer, but I couldn't not share because I felt a sense of responsibility to do it, and it's changed a lot of lives, and I'm very grateful for that. So thank you, everyone. We'll conclude our call this evening, and have a wonderful rest of your evening. And I wore green. I almost put on, I think I might do it anyway, even though Gregory said I shouldn't. Just to end our call, let's see if I can do it. To end our call, I think I'll stop the recording so it's not recorded.